In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 pieces of information I think all beginner coaches should know. So check it out. G'day everyone, Coach Craig Rowe here from the Ozswoosh YouTube channel and the head coach of Ozswoosh Academy. And this is our very first episode of the Coach Approach. If this is your first time here, I want to let you know I'm Coach Craig Rowe, as I said, and I've got 30 years of coaching experience helping both coaches attain their coaching accreditation here in Australia. And also I've coached thousands upon thousands of athletes over the last 3 decades in any number of programs, everything from 4-year-olds right through to senior men's and women's representative teams and also state athletes as well. So I can offer a whole heap of different approaches that I'm going to share with you on the Coach Approach in coming episodes. So make sure if you haven't hit the subscribe button and the notification bell that you take a moment now to actually do so. I'll also, at the end of this video, be telling you a little bit of information about how you can get some free coaching resources from our website. So stick around for more information about that. All right. So the very first thing that I wish I'd have actually known when I started coaching is teach the fundamentals. Now, what you'll notice is I actually say fundamentals, which is fundamentals with a capital F-U-N. Now, fundamentals are absolutely important. What we mean by fundamentals is the core things that athletes need to have to evolve their game over the course of their career. So they are the foundational things that are most important. So what are they? Firstly, body movement. So body movement fundamentals is paramount. So that's stopping, pivoting, running, change of pace and change of direction are all important. Defensive footwork. So anything that involves body movement without the ball is of paramount importance at the middle school age. The other thing is the pillars of the game, the techniques that are important. So things like shot technique, layups, and things of that nature, your rebounding technique, your ball handling drills, all those things and all your different types of dribbles, they're all considered fundamentals. So I'm not talking about the step back threes and the double and triple crossover moves to ankle break someone that you see all over YouTube. I'm talking about the fundamentals that will build dexterity and good mastery over the body. You build that foundation. It's like building a house. You build that foundation for your athletes and it will help them over time become better players. And that's what's important, which brings me to the next point. If you're a youth coach, winning on the scoreboard is probably not as important as a different type of win, which is what's important now. Depending on the age group you coach, you're going to have to work out what they need to be doing right now in the moment to help them further their careers down the track. And that is what we call a focus on fundamentals. We use a skills matrix here at Ozswoosh. In future episodes of the Coach Approach, we will share a skills matrix with you so you understand what that is. You can Google it, but if you haven't seen one before, stick around on the Coach Approach and we'll be sharing one that you'll be able to download in a future episode. So make sure you do subscribe and hit the notification bell to be advised when new content is uploaded. So that is the very first tip I would say. Teach the fundamentals, and the FUN is in caps because at a younger stage and at all ages, it is a game. You got to be enjoying the game. If you're not enjoying the game and it's not fun, then why are we doing it? So fundamentals with a capital FUN. That's the first tip. Second tip, seek better ways. Seek better ways. I have coached for over 30 years, and in that time, I have constantly changed the things that I do, the coach approaches that I apply to the way I teach. And the reason that is one reason. The game is constantly evolving. Now, I've got things that I teach as a coach that I know other coaches don't teach, and I see things other coaches teach that I choose not to teach. There are many ways to skin a cat. So after all, it is a game, so we have to remind ourselves This is a game. Therefore, I would say there are technically, or probably shouldn't use that word technically, but there are no wrong ways to do things. It's really a case of there's always better ways to do things. And your job as a coach is to actually find those better ways. That's basically what we expect of our athletes, is to find ways to improve and find ways to do things. So if you're not doing that as a coach, then you're going to have a limited life as a coach, and or you're going to struggle potentially down the track as the game evolves. And I can tell you, over the last 30 years of my involvement, I've seen line changes, rule changes that have changed the way in which we have been able to coach the game. And we've also seen our players become more versatile, with centers shooting threes and smaller players posting up. So our athletes are becoming more skilled, and therefore it's very important that we actually seek better ways, because certainly our athletes are. Now, if you have anything you'd like to say on that point, then please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below and share your knowledge and or opinion on what you think of the first 2 points. So agree or disagree, I don't mind, but feel free to engage and start a conversation. More than happy for you to do that on the Coach Approach. Now, this is probably the most important point that I wish I'd known before I started coaching 30 years ago. And I only learned it recently, and it's going to sound so stupid and so obvious. And people, even I'm a bit embarrassed to actually have to say this, but coach players, not just plays. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is that the people you are working with are human beings. They're people. And if you want to get the best out of those people, you have to understand who they are as individuals and how they learn. So who they are, how they learn, what motivates them. If you struggle to work out what those things are, particularly at a senior level, then you're going to struggle to get the best out of people. So understand that, yes, X's and O's may seem important, and yes, drills may seem important, but the fact is, ultimately, you're dealing with human beings, and everyone is individual, and everyone's is different. So the things that you need to try and work out is, first and foremost, as a beginner coach, is how do they learn? Now, if you're a teacher watching this, you probably already know that there's ways in which we all learn, and you may well know this anyway. But the 4 core ways that people learn, most of us have different aspects of them to different degrees. However, most of us will gravitate to one core way of learning that is our preferential way of learning. So you have your auditory learners, so they are listening. You have your visuals, the ones that see. You have your kinesthetics, which are the ones who learn by doing, and you have your tactiles, who are the fidgeters and the people that you have to manipulate and motivate to get them to see how to do something. So good way of working that out. When you're instructing in a drill, observe your athletes and work out, are they watching you? Do they give you their attention? Those people who eyes on you, they're the ones who tend to be the visual learners. They tend to really focus to take in what they're learning. Auditories will probably not be fidgeting, but they may be looking down and look like they're not listening, but they may well be. They normally will still look at you from time to time, but they don't need to look at you to get the knowledge that they necessarily need. So they will do both, but probably not, will lose their gaze from time to time. Then you've got your tactiles. These ones are a little bit trickier in that they're going to be the ones that want to play with the ball while you're talking. So they've got to be fidgeting and doing things. Interestingly, that is part of their learning process. It does actually help them. Not that it helps you if you've got to speak over a bouncing ball, but they're doing it because it's part of the way in which they feel their environment. So the way you can approach those athletes with their permission is to actually manipulate them and demonstrate the drills. They're good athletes to help demonstrate with. And then you've got your kinesthetics. And unfortunately, these guys are the ones that you may well find most frustrating, because they're the ones that you're going to be saying, you weren't listening, were you? You weren't watching, were you? Because in the drill, you have to explain to them what you just explained to everyone else. And those guys will get it, but they're going to want to do it. So they're also athletes that you may be able to use to help demonstrate the drill, and then you'll find your life a little bit easier when you come to actually do the drill. Now, on the other part of that too, and it is going to be in another episode, we'll talk about the behaviors and motivations of people and athletes so that you understand that each athlete is different, and there are ways you can identify using the DISC model how you may well be able to work out how to get the most out of your athletes. But that point, that third point that I wish I had known when I first started coaching, coach players, not just plays. As a coach, you want to learn the X's and O's, and you want to get all the drills, and you think that stuff's important, but ultimately players play the game. So make sure that you focus on that. Now, coaching resource library, I mentioned it at the start of the video. If you want free coaching resources, you can visit our website at www.ozswoosh.com and go to the library menu, and you'll see a downloads button. There, when you click on that, it will take you to a number of coaching resources gathered over time. I think there's hundreds of documents there that include training programs, skipping programs, aggregated from a number of different publicly available resources. And we've basically made them available through our website. So if you're a beginner coach, it's a good place to start. And that's it. It's episode 1 of the Coach Approach. Hope you join me again next time, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks for checking out this episode of the Coach Approach. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please take time to leave a like. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet subscribed, and also feel free to share your own experience in the comments below. We hope to see you again in the next one.